Hello everyone, welcome to Study IQ IAS English channel. My name is Shubham Sagar and today we'll be talking about a very important issue related to education, that is NEP 2020. National Education Policy 2020. UPSC has asked this particular question or question related to NEP 2020 in mains. It's very important from every exam perspective and even for general knowledge awareness as well. So, has it been a great success or a great failure? Just give me a second. So why we have to discuss about this particular topic? Because there was an Indian Express article, and there is not like single Indian Express article, multiple Indian Express article has appeared or has been there on January 29, 2025. And you can see it on page 12. I think there are two articles related to ASER and relationship between ASER and NEP 2020. So ASER, Annual Status of Education Report. It's this report again in UPSC Prelims. UPSC has asked question on ASER, Annual Status of Education Report. Who publishes it? NGO Pratham. Why this is very important? Just like when we talk about education, we generally cite Lancet Journal. When we talk about polity perspective, any news related to polity or whom we should recommend or which commission reports are very, reliable. Then we talk about NCRWC, National Commission to Review the Working of Constitution, which is also known as Venkat Chalia Commission. Similarly, when it comes to education, this ASER, Annual Status of Education Report, is very important. So something has happened, annual status of education report. They are talking about something, they are talking about NEP, and you can understand this article in a much better manner if you know something about NEP, that is National Education Policy 2020. So this National Education Policy 2020 has arrived after like 34 years. This has replaced the earlier National Education Policy of 1986. Which committee has recommended this NEP 2020? K. Kasturi Rangan Committee. So first of all, we'll talk something about this NEP 2020 so that you have a basic idea about what this NEP 2020 is and how, according to ASER, whether NEP 2020 is doing some good or this is just, letters and which has no or minimal meaning at all. So we'll talk about it. So NEP 2020, based on the recommendation of K. Kasturi Rangan, this is very important, and it has replaced 34-year-old National Policy on Education 1986. All these facts you have to keep it in mind. Earlier, he is K. Kasturi Rangan, Honorable K. Kasturi Rangan sir. Please remember this thing, that there is a question for you also, which you can write in the comment section. Education comes under which list? Union list, state list, or concurrent list? Now, when we are talking about National Education Policy 2020, earlier we had a 10+2 policy, like 10+2 education system when it comes till secondary level. You do class 10 and then 11th and 12th. Now it is 5+3+3+4. Government is breaking it up so that they can pay attention to each and every level, from preschool to secondary. Then there are so many good things which has been done in NEP 2020. They have different target when it comes to GER, gross enrollment ratio. How much gross enrollment ratio they want to achieve in secondary level or at secondary level. Let's say they want to achieve 100% GER. Again, these are some terms which you have to understand. Then only you will understand articles related to ASER or any such education related article. So gross enrollment ratio means, let's say government is under its NEP 2020 is aiming for 100% GER, gross enrollment ratio, by 2030. We are just taking a year. So that means government wants all the children. 100% means all the children who are in the age group, or all the children who are or who can study secondary level, they have to study 100% gross enrollment ratio till from preschool to secondary level by 2030. Similarly, government has certain aims when it comes to NEP 2020. How much GER, gross enrollment ratio, they want to achieve in higher education? That is like BTech, BA, MA, etc. So there the aim is 50% by 2035. And then you will see these things, how ASER is talking certain things related to all these findings. Not only GER, then there are certain things related to literacy and numeracy. How much, let's say there is a class 5 student, how much he is able to understand a class 2 text, how much he is able to read a class 2 text, how much he is able to do division and subtraction up to his level. So there are so many questions which will be answered here. Cool. So what are the important points of NEP 2020 which you have to keep in mind? Earlier we had 10+2 policy, now we have 5+3+3+4. This is fine. This you may have read it so many times. There are certain states in our country which has tussle or which had tussle with Indian government regarding implementation of NEP 2020. Tamil Nadu government is one of them. So you will see it is in news current means, once in a while it comes in news that Tamil Nadu is not ready to implement certain provision of NEP 2020 because they had apprehensions about vernacular language, whether vernacular language or Tamil will be sidelined in NEP 2020. According to NEP 2020, this particular provision, have a look at it, medium of instruction up till grade 5, that is compulsory, it will be in vernacular language, and government is trying to ensure that this continues till grade 8. Again, these are very important features. Please keep it in mind for UPSC Pre 2025 or any other exam which you are giving. So government is very, very concerned about promoting vernacular education. All these things are written here, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, you can have a look at it. Universal access for children of 3 to 6 years. Again, have a look at this slide, I will tell you what is important. See, you may have heard about Sushant Singh Rajput. He was a very, one of the best intellectual movie, actor you may have witnessed. So he was a dropout from DTU, Delhi Technical University, and he had always this, feeling inside him that I was not able to complete my degree. Now the option is there in NEP 2020 that if you have completed, let's say 2 years of your BTech program or any graduation program, you can take a diploma certificate up until that year and you can come later and you can complete your course. All these things are there in NEP 2020, which are things to be commended or features or provisions to be commended. Now see here, now this point is related to the current ASER report which we'll be reading. So what is the aim of NEP 2020? They want to have universal foundation literacy and numeracy in all primary school for all learners by 2025. By grade 3 by 2025. Which year we are in currently? We are in 2025. So what they are saying is, let's say there is a class 3 student, grade 3 student. So he should be able to, all the class 3 students should be able to read a class 2 text. That is the aim of NEP 2020 by this particular year. Then we have talked about these things. Secondary level, how much gross enrollment ratio they want? 100% by 2030. In higher education, they want 50% GER. We are currently hovering around 20 odd percent and we want to reach 50% by 2035. These are some facts which you have to keep in mind. Again, and education has to be 6% of GDP. Again, you can post it in the comment section. How much is government currently spending on education? What percentage of GDP government is currently spending on education? Also give the source of yours which you are referring to. Plus how much percent of GDP government is spending on health? Again, give the source which you are referring to. Let's say NFHS 5 or any other source for health. You can post it in the comment section. Fine. Now National Education Policy, you have seen all the features. You can have a look at it. Let's focus on the article. What this article is saying? Article is saying that when we had COVID pandemic, in that scenario, what has happened? Our education was impacted to a great degree. But now we are recovering and we are coming back to the pre-pandemic level of education, or even we are doing better than that. And again, ASER report, this particular report and this particular article by ma'am is giving some facts. You can use these facts in any exam you want because you have to always substantiate your point. So what she is saying in this article. So let's say there is a class 3 student and he is reading a class 2 text. So earlier only 23% in 2014. See here, 2022, which was like the years which were impacted by pandemic the most. This whole scenario, like 1 out of 5 class 3 student was able to read a class 2 book. That was the scenario in 2022 and this was lesser than 2014 also. Now we have even bettered or we have even reached the level of 2018. So this is what this ASER report is saying. Ma'am is saying that we are doing better when it comes to reading skills, when it comes to calculation skills. All these things are coming back to pre-pandemic level, and in certain areas we are even doing better than the pre-pandemic level. Class 5 proportion of children reading class 2 level. 2014 48%, 2018 50%, and again 2022 when we were impacted by pandemic, then it fell, and now again we have recovered to 48.8%. So all these things are showing that we are recovering when it comes to education front, when it comes to basic skills in reading and numeracy. I will show you the arithmetic skills also. Class 3 subtraction skills, again these are the facts which you have to keep in mind, which will help you in substantiating your point. So again 2024 we have reached to 33.7%, which is the best out of all the years which we have taken. 2022, which was impacted by pandemic, it was around 26%. Class 5 division skill, again in 2024 it is highest in years. So we are doing much better now. The impact which we had or which people faced, class 2, class 3, class 5 students, which they faced during the pandemic period, we are recovering now. There is a very interesting fact in this particular article which is talking about that government schools are doing much better than private schools. Private schools have still not recovered from the pandemic impact. They're still reeling under the impact of pandemic. So this point also you have to keep it in mind. This is a very interesting observation by this article, that government schools, they are doing much better. Private schools are still reeling under the impact of pandemic. Their students are, like, the performance is still equal to the level when around like 2022, which was impacted by the pandemic year. And then they have given some figures. So this is an interesting observation. What else? So now let's come to the conclusion part. According to ma'am who has written this article, and she is not any normal lady. She is the director of ASER Foundation, NGO Pratham, who is publishing this report. Again, another question for you. NGO Pratham, they are publishing this annual status of education report. Do they publish it annually or they publish it biennially? And if they are publishing it biennially, have they always published biennially, or they have started it from some year in 2010s? So you can post it in the comment section. What is your answer? It is similar to Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, how we celebrate Pravasi Bharatiya Divas these days. Fine. So again, ma'am is saying that NEP 2020 and their policies and how different states are coming together and promoting cooperative federalism. All these factors have played a crucial role how we are recovering from the impact of pandemic as far as education is concerned. And we are reaching the pre-pandemic level, or in certain areas we have even bettered the records which we had during the pre-pandemic level. So we are doing good now. And NEP 2020, which is promoting cooperative federalism, which is promoting, again, if you go back and see one of the provision which we have seen in NEP 2020, it was this: universal foundation literacy and numeracy in all primary school for all learners by grade 3 by 2025. So it's not like it's universal, it's 100%. We are around 48-50%, but still we are doing better. And NEP 2020 has a major role to play in that. So that's what ma'am is saying. That's what this article is saying. For the first time, a nationwide systemic push has been done and state-wise improvement has been done. Again, here you have to pay attention to important terms, important words. Ma'am is saying in low-performing states, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, we can understand. There is an acronym also, which is BIMARU. If you know the full form of these particular BIMARU acronym, you can post it in the comment section. Why Tamil Nadu is there in the low-performing state? This is again a matter of, you can think about it, how Tamil Nadu is here, because southern states generally they perform very good in all these social indicators, be it health, education, So why? Because again we have discussed it, and time and again you may have heard it, that Tamil Nadu generally do not follow NEP 2020 in entirety because they have some apprehension regarding NEP 2020. Plus, education is not exclusively under union list. That you have to post in the comment section. Education comes under which particular list. So, since Tamil Nadu does not adhere to all the provision of NEP 2020 and they are not, doing what central government is directing them to, that's why, according to different surveys, they have been kept in low-performing states. One of the prominent reason. And then Uttar Pradesh is one of the low-performing states, and they are also doing much better now. And NEP 2020 has a major role to play in that. Cooperative federalism, states are coming together. All these factors are contributing to it. Fine. So, final takeaway is NEP 2020 is doing good, but has it been a humongous success? No, because according to them, they wanted to attain that all class 3 students are able to read class 2 text. That has not yet happened. So still there is a long way to go. It's not a foolproof success. It's not a complete failure. It's a work in progress, but at least something has been done. And we are witnessing a united push, which is actually a good thing. And that's why ma'am is saying that ASER report shows improvement in learning outcomes after pandemic, signals initial success of NEP, that is National Education Policy, but still there is a long road ahead of us. And because education and health, these are two social parameters where government has to work a lot. Currently, we are witnessing a demographic dividend, and education is one way to tap that demographic dividend. Otherwise, it can turn into a demographic disaster. So that's it for this particular article. You can post in the comment section, education comes under which list. And again, do you think NEP is working? Or do you think there are still some lacunas? If you want to contribute more to this article, if you have your own points rather, you can post it in the comment section. Take care, be blessed, see you soon, tata bye.